Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're looking at Aristarchus Crater on the moon, and we'll be using the Worldwide Telescope. And this is a tool that Ben Pellom introduced to us that I wish everybody would use. I would love to see Jimmy using it. I would love to see Physical Astronomy Technothanks using it. I'd love to see Mars Anomalies and Beyond and ArtAlienTv. This is something we should all be using. There's so much here, and it is revealing a whole new world for us. Okay, we all need to be using this. So, Aristarchus Crater, I suppose NASA says that Aristarchus is the brightest crater on the moon. And this place has always held a lot of intrigue for me. I think it goes back to a handful, I think, maybe more, maybe less, of videos that Physical Astronomy Technothanks did on Aristarchus over the years. He's done some really, really cool, incredible stuff. And so this place has always been a place of intrigue for me, and particularly because of that weird-looking, line that goes off to the side. So yeah, here we are, Aristarchus, the brightest crater on the moon. And this crater is almost 25 miles across. And I've toned it down a lot so we could see it. And there's buildings here. There's a lot of buildings in and around, all around, apparently all over the moon. Still trying to determine if that's true. And I want to warn you up front, in these pictures, in all the pictures, I'm dealing with this this image enhancement software that NASA uses to obfuscate. And it's a lot like pixels, but it's not exactly like pixels. And it creates, I think, some extra tall buildings. So beware the unusually tall narrow buildings, okay, and maybe some more. I don't really know. There's issues here, and yet we're still able to see through much of what they've done, but it's as if it's a little bit of both now. A little bit of this enhancement software that they use that changes it. There's a little bit of that, and a little bit what's really there. Yeah, this is incredibly bright. Now, this is the center of the crater, and they call that the what do they call that? That's the central peaks. As for craters that are a certain size and above, create this peak in the middle of it. And this peak that we were looking at had some little black buildings in the middle of it. Quite cool. Here's the upper edge of the crater. And you can see all the lines going out in different directions. And I'm guessing this probably was a crater to begin with. However long ago, NASA says this crater was probably formed 175 million years ago. So these guys probably moved in about 175 million and 1 years. 1 year later, they've been here for quite a long time. Besides, how do we know that crater was even created by a meteor 175 million years ago? How do we know that? I mean, they have a lot of gobbledygook that'll tell you that, but who knows really. And this crater, not unlike other craters and other places that we've seen on the moon, of course, is extremely population. It has extremely high population density, no doubt about it. So, it's interesting. I wonder what it's like living there where where the buildings are white, whatever they have on the ground is white. It's all so incredibly bright. What is it like living there? Does everybody wear sunglasses? They probably wear sunglasses everywhere on the moon, right? Everyone's got Ray-Bans. Now here is another shot of the crater along with this crazy line. It's what they call a lava flow. In fact, they call it a rill, and it's spelled R-I-L-L-E. And their best guess on this was that this was a very molten lava that came out and flowed. And as it flowed out, it created its own levees along the side and kept it contained. The only thing they don't understand is why it has this river-like flow. And this is also the largest one on the moon, too. Yeah, they say it. They didn't say how long, and this is all a guess, too. That's just all their best guess. And they call this end of it the Cobra Head. And it starts to look quite a bit different the closer you look, right? Isn't that always the case? And what's down the middle of this line, we'll call it, is just the same as what's on the outside of it. And this is where they say that this lava created its own levee along the side and kept it contained, and that's why it was able to not spread out so much. But yet they don't have a clue how it got so windy. So it's all a bunch of guessing, and it's really something they obviously had to make up to satisfy anybody looking. I've been looking at this area of the moon for a long time. It's been really intriguing. It's such an unusual place on the moon. And my mind always flashes back to the videos from Technothanks, from Physical Astronomy Technothanks. Really, really cool stuff he's done here. Does look like a big long snake. Cobra Head's a good name for it on the end there. So we're going to look at it closer now. We're going to look a lot closer. And these are sort of unusual pictures because they're intensely clear. You know, I don't know. I did something, right, by accident. I don't know what I did. But the pictures came out so clear, and I don't know that I can recreate this on another photograph. So you can see the white buildings going up along the sides, and now also just about dead center to the right of center, see very tall building there. These are the ones I question. I'm not comfortable with these really, really tall buildings, and you'll see as we go along. So again, it reminds me of places that we've seen really everywhere: Mars, Dione, Venus. You know, the white lines, the white outside buildings with dark buildings in the middle. I mean, how many times have we seen that? I realize this is somewhat different than that, but same idea. I can't imagine what the draw is, you know, why they do that. Unless, like I said, it's a gated community or something like that. Only certain people can go in there. If not, they'll send you to Earth. That'll be your punishment. You got to go live with the Earthlings. I bet they have a real strict society up there. Oh no, not Earth! Ah! Incredible picture there. Just amazing clarity. And you can see that these buildings have a slant, a slight slant from top to bottom, from right to left. They're all oriented in that direction. And this line that we were looking at, it peters out. It comes down to just some bigger, lighter colored buildings, and they get smaller and smaller as the line fades away. So I knew there was more to Aristarchus. As I said, Technothanks really paved the way, but you know, nothing that anyone has done has prepared me for what we're finding with the Worldwide Telescope. That's the bottom line. We need to get people there. We need to get people over to Ben Pellom's website, Pellom Planetary Research. That's an incredible place to go. And also, Ben has some really great stuff on his YouTube channel, Ben Pellom. And I will have the links in the description for you. And these are just random pictures. You know, it's a very large area that we took the picture of here, and this is just around the area, things that you can see everywhere. So it doesn't really matter. I could point out where it came from, but it's all the same from one to the next. And I think, you know, these buildings on the far left over here, they seem, you know, really unusually high. And these are the ones that I question, although they do have a beginning and an end. But some of them seem to stretch from top to bottom, and those are obviously not what we're looking for. This is back in the crater, obviously, where it's very, very bright. Toned it down somewhat. Yeah, the big question in my mind, well, there's several questions in my mind. Hardly worth bringing them up, but, you know, how is it that we don't see this from Earth? How come other people haven't seen this, other researchers? You know, how do they eat? How do they live? What do they breathe? You know, all of the infrastructure questions. How do they get around? You know, now here in the top of this crater and going up, you can go back and look. There's really some of that unusual pixely looking interference from that image processing software that NASA was using to give us that pixely look. And as usual, it really doesn't seem, well, so far it hasn't mattered a bit. Where you look as far as craters, none of them are what you think they are. From a distance, you see the faint outline of what could have been a small crater at some point. But again, when you look closer, you see these circular orientations of white buildings, which is the outside edge of a crater. And it's not always white, but most of the time, at least the easy ones to spot are white. And then just a couple random pictures going back and looking. To me, this all looks like it's built high above the rest of it, but I say that all the time. It's probably just the outside buildings that are up above, but even from a distance, it kind of looks like it's raised above everything else. I don't know why it would be. And again, you can see the lines going up, and yeah. So I guess they're going to stay in for Super Bowl. No place to go outside. Now, what a mysterious place. They've probably been there as long as that crater has, or longer. Anyway, everyone, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.